Welcome to the Properties to Profit podcast. I'm Michael, your host. Excited to share with you my journey from a six-figure job to building a successful real estate business. Each episode will explore various aspects of real estate investing, from wholesaling and flipping to managing rentals. I'll share the lessons and insights I've gained, aiming to help you avoid mistakes and achieve your financial goals. Expect guest experts, valuable tips, and practical advice to guide you on your own real estate journey. Thank you for tuning in. If you find any value in this podcast, please subscribe, share, and follow me on social media. Let's turn properties into profits together. Good morning, guys. Michael here with Properties to Profits. And on today's episode, I really want to talk about how building a brand in today's climate is really going to help you. I think we're doing a better job on this than most people in our industry. We try to go to as many seller signings as we can, because we believe in this market where things are getting harder and harder and AI is really taking over, that the people who can either figure out the technology side are going to win, and then the people who are really going to go crush the customer experience and really solve their problems going to win. And so I don't think there's going to be much of an in-between. So you got to get really good at one or the other. And I think the technology side is going to take a lot of money. And unfortunately, I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars that I think it's going to take to really win the technology side. We hear all the time that they're so grateful that they're talking to real humans or humans in their local markets. And so that's what we really focus on here at Oasis. And so what I really want to do is kind of read this review that we got this week. And we've been getting a lot of these reviews. If you look at our competition, I think there's only 3 or 4 people in our market who have more reviews than us. And all of them have been in the industry at least 5 years or longer than us. So we've been doing direct seller 3.5 years. Most of our competition, actually every single person who has more reviews than us, has been in for 5 years or longer than us. So crazy that they have twice as much time in the market as us. And we have more review or the similar amount of reviews. And there's several people who have been in the market for longer than us, and we're crushing them as far as reviews. So, and it's because we really focus on the customer experience. And what's ironic about this is, if you looked at our average assignment versus all of their average assignment, I would be willing to bet that our average assignment is significantly higher. Company average is $21,000 since we've been in business and climbing. Last month, our assignment, the month of February 2025, our average assignment was $29,000. And our minimum's always been about 20, and we've always stuck there, floated between like 17 on the low end, 22 on the high end. We've recently decided that we need to raise it to 30. With just cost rising, our cost per leads rising, employees want to make more money. So if they want to make more money, let's close bigger deals, and people want more margin. So we need to protect ourselves. And so that's how we're doing it. And so we really are looking to raise our minimum assignment to over $30,000. That's just an assignment. That doesn't include flip profits. That doesn't include novations, guys. And so with that, how are we doing that? Well, we believe that we are doing one of the few things. Most people in the wholesaling business and fix and flip business, once they create a sustainable business, maybe break $1 million, even $2 million, they go straight to education. That is one thing we are not doing. We have no intentions of getting into education on a paid basis. I do help some select few people, but we have no intention to get into education on a paid basis until we break $10 million. And we have a COO who runs this company and can consistently grow it at 10 to 15% a year once we pass that. And then we'll talk about what the next steps for me might be. And I'm not even sure it's education. Development really interests me, and buying blue collar business really interests me. So, but I'm not going to do any of that stuff till I get there. And so I believe that because of that, we're able to focus on just the customer experience, right? We don't have investors really. We're starting to raise more money than ever. So if you want to talk about that, shoot me a DM on Instagram, Real Estate Mike02. But what we're really focused on is, I try to go to closings. I try to call all of the sellers after they close and just see how their experience was and see what we could have done better. And I think you're finding out with our reviews, like the one I'm about to read you guys, is really going to pay off. A lot of our competition who does $1 million or more in our market, I don't see them on their YouTube talking about their customer or with their customer. You see me on our YouTube channel talking about and with our customer. And so what's that going to do when more people are finding us? They're going to go to our YouTube channel and see. Currently, it's not that many, but it's gonna be hundreds of videos at some point of me talking to our customers. You look at our reviews, you see my name, right? And that's so important, I think, for longevity and building a brand. And I think it will pan out in 5 years or more. So we will see how some of our competition is focused on building their brand, building their education business, and a lot of them have super impressive education businesses, guys. Like, I am not here to knock their education businesses. A lot of their education businesses are significantly bigger than my real estate business. And so I'm not here to say it's a wrong way. I'm just sharing that I'm going a different path. And I think in the short term, they definitely make more money than me. But I question in the next 5 to 10 years if real estate is going to be a great business model, if I will make more because I am focused on the customer and just the customer, and is my sole focus. And only time will tell, right? I think they are some great operators around the country who do this, and especially in my market too. This is nothing against them. It's just we have two different focuses. I have a vision of owning $1 billion real estate brand. They want to do different things, and I can't say 100% what their focuses are. And so that's what we focus on. So I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys this review, and would love to know your guys' thoughts and why we take such pride of this. This has a lot to do with Leela and Kevin. So Leela is she's our operations manager, and she's currently sitting in the role of transaction manager. And it just goes to show how important it is to have that person. They're selling the customer the entire way along here. And then Kevin was our acquisition rep who got this thing locked up. So here we go. When I called, and Oasis is referring to my home buying company. So we brand to sellers as Oasis Home Buyers, just for the record there. When I called Oasis, I was greeted by a gentleman named Kevin who spent considerable time answering my questions and patiently dealt with my skepticism. Kevin's patience with me was professional, calming, and quite frankly, I realized after a couple conversations, Oasis Home Buyers was the best option. When I decided to sign with Oasis, Kevin walked through every section of the contract, adopted the minor changes I asked in the contract, and the deal was initiated. From that point, I witnessed their word on simplicity of their process. Kevin then told me I would be assigned a person with whom I could communicate with anytime in the process as we went along. The person I was assigned to was Leela, and she led me through the next steps. The next steps was for Oasis to have an experienced contractor come to the house, examine, and take pictures of the entire house inside and out. I was pleasantly surprised how calming it felt to open my house to a complete stranger for this evaluation. Following a short bit of time, Oasis and their team to review their notes and pictures from the contractor. I was made a final offer on the house, and that offer was enough to pay off the mortgage plus a little bit more. So I accepted their final offer. A few days later, the closing occurred, and when they sent a notary from the title agency who walked me through the documentations, I then began packing to move. While the Oasis process moved quickly, they were considerate and patient as I moved out. While moving out, I needed extra time. A member of their leadership answered the phone when I answered and to request a bit more time. And he was so accommodating and made the move that much more peaceful. It's only been a day since I moved out, and I'm writing a review for my smaller partner, which I'm so grateful for and so pleased to have worked with Oasis Home Buyers. Kevin and Leela were the anchors of Oasis who kept me grounded and informed me during the major transition. While their entire team was exceptional in the process I witnessed, as well as the unseen parts of the process. While I may have typos in some poor writing, I hope you understand my sincerity intent to highly recommend anyone to call Leela and Kevin at the Oasis Home Buyers team and how they can help you with their situation. Oasis deserves more than 5-star reviews. Man, that makes me feel really good inside. So I really want to break this down. We were there for him every single step of the way. This seller took their time, and Kevin, my acquisition rep, really took his time to get through. And a lot of people aren't that patient, right? A lot of people in this industry want to get the deal done on the first time, which I believe is sometimes can be done. Most of the time, I believe can be done. But sometimes there are these sellers who need more. And that's what here at our company, Oasis Home Buyers, we do and why we get some of the best deals. To be transparent with you guys, this was a $60,000 deal. We had one of our first buyers look over the deal and the numbers just didn't make sense. And we were concerned. There was a roof damage. We were worried about the septic and a whole bunch of things. This house hadn't been updated at all. And there were some big trees that we thought we needed to come down. And after we got that first initial review from a buyer, we called him back and said, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And he was just like, "Honestly, I just need to pay off the mortgage and a little bit of cash and I'll be fine." And we said, "Okay, if you're willing to do that, we can 100% move forward." And that's exactly what it did. And then we continued to go find the best buyer. And we did find a great buyer for this. And so I think we got a little bit lucky on this one to get that 60K deal. But it goes to show when you provide the experience, price doesn't matter. And this guy was astonished with how well it went. We answered every single call that came through for him. And we were just there to help him and support him the entire way. It is a tough business to do this. He was in our system. I'm going to double check while I'm looking at, but I believe he was in our system for over 30 days. And we talked to him, um, I believe 20 times before he signed the contract. So let me just double check that real quick. I'm logging into my system right now. Yeah, he was in our system 20-ish 1 days, it looks like, before he went into contract. And then um, we closed 26 days after him going into contract. And that was more so on him. He wanted the time to move out, and then he wanted 30 days after closing. And he ended up using all that time and wanting more time. And so the buyer's extremely happy because he's got a deal that he should still make $40,000 to $50,000. It's a heavy rehab. I'll try to get you guys some photos so you guys can kind of look at this thing. But the seller is ecstatic. And I think us focusing on that seller expectations there is going to go a long way. And so that's what we're building here at Oasis as we go to build on our billion-dollar brand is we're focusing on the seller expectations because when we start a fund later on in life, we will be able to have the sellers coming to us and not worried about price because we're going to solve their problem and be there to answer any questions that they might have along the way. Some of our competition can't say that. And so they're worried about other things. We're worried about just the customer experience. And we're trying to get me out in there with the sellers as much as possible so that they know that we are part of this community. We're going to help them through with whatever headaches come up. And I'm going to tune in next week with another one of these guys. And I think you're going to find out this is a recurring theme. And that's what we're here to do at Oasis Home Buyers. With that being said, guys, we are looking to hire. We know this market is tough. And so if your wholesaling business isn't doing what you want it to do, we have sales rep on our team making 15, 20 grand plus a month, and we're working towards someone making 30 grand a month. If you want to be a part of this and this vibes with you and you think you can make an impact here at our brand of companies, whether it's a dispo agent or a home buying specialist or a transaction coordinator, we'd love to hear from you. Like I said, we're building something great here and we're building something for longevity, not overnight success. Like I said, we did over $3 million in assignments last year. We're having a rough start, but when I get reviews like this, it tells me that we're doing something right. I think I missed part of this review, guys, because he goes on to say, first off, I'm 65 years old and realized after 16 years of owning my home alone, it was too much house and space for me, too much yard to keep up with, too many expenses for major necessary updates. And I realized it was time for me to downsize. I researched the option to use a realtor and discovered the length of time, costly and intrusive requirements and commission costs for that option and found it not viable for my situation. Wow, this is wild. I'm so sorry. I missed some of this, guys. I started down here. So that is what this review starts with. So I encourage you guys to go check out our reviews and you'll see that we provide a great experience. And that is what we want to do here at Oasis Home Buyers. It's something different than what I think you're experiencing in this market. And as times get rougher, we're going to focus on this and not worry about the money because we know the money will come if we can provide the customers the experience they need. So we're going to continue to read some of these reviews over the coming weeks. And if you know anyone looking for a job, please shoot me a DM and so we can continue this. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to the Properties for Profit podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Follow me on social media for more updates and tips. Until next time, keep turning properties into profits.